Okay. That's true. That's true. It is. It's all me. And it's a good thing that I flipped over here because people can't see me right now.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry?
You left me behind. You left me behind. You're kind of just.
How do you figure that?
You're just like, whatever. Screw this Bobby guy. I'm just gonna do my thing. And you just, you know.
I don't think that's true at all, Bobby. Look at it. Do you want to compare mugs for a second? Do you want to compare mugs? Like I got Donkey Kong.
Okay. So here's the thing. You got Donkey Kong. I got Mario. And Luigi.
Yeah, but who cares about Luigi though?
Hardcore, man. What?
Nobody cares about Luigi.
Go on his face every time when I drink.
I know, your chin just like rests on his nose. You're like, here you go, Bobby. Yeah. You know what I miss? I miss the like when we used to like preamble before we actually got going, but then we went live and it wasn't possible to do anymore. Did you like episode 99?
What's that?
I'm sorry, you go ahead. I asked 2 questions at once. That was bad of me.
Well, you know, the thing of it is like, remember when we would like, before we went live, so we would sit there for like 15, 20 minutes to kind of get it all out. Like all the jibber jabber, the nonsense and stuff. And then it was kind of like when it was time to go, it was more relaxed and you were ready to flow. Yeah. And now it's like
you go live and you're on.
Yeah, and the nerves are already hitting you and it's like, holy cow. But whatever.
How'd you think of 99? Did you listen or watch or
dude? Well, you screwed up first off.
On the video, I know.
Yeah, the video goes up and it just stops and
like 55 minutes in.
What's going on here? Like, what's this big thing that he's thanking everybody for and stuff? But no, man, you know what? It was.
Is that where it
really
stopped?
good.
I didn't even watch. I just saw that it was the wrong length, and then I went back and fixed it.
Well, and here's the other thing. You said in the beginning of the video or before the segment about the fight. So you said that you didn't have the big fight. That was the fight.
No, the big fight was when Justin Masson was with us.
But that wasn't if we were Nintendo, kind of. That was like me, you, and Toby doing the thing. That was the one where you told me to F off, and then I told you
I know, that was really bad.
That was the brutal one. But that fight was the one that you left the next week. You weren't on the next week. That was the one that was real uncomfortable. And then I said to you after we went off the air, I was like, I don't like how that ended. Can we just go back? And you're like, nope. I want to see. Remember your words. I want to see if I'm wrong this time. We're going to leave it to the jury of public opinion. I was like, okay. And then that's when you kind of took a beating. The one during the Nintendo or during the live stream, the podcast we did with me, you, Toby, and Justin, I took the beating on that one. Like, everybody backed.
That's why I came in so cocky on that one. I'm like, you know what? I'm never wrong. Whatever, Bobby can suck a D. You know what I mean? I missed all the songs though. We never got to sing going back. Was
so good,
dude. That so funny.
So, that was fun. No, the best. I literally started crying again. Was the mess ups, and then like amazing. You said amazing, and then right after I started opening a bag of chips, and you're like, what is going on? And I just lost it.
Dude, I watched that like 100 times over and over, and every time your face right before you start cracking, and you can't even see what you're crackling. That's the best part. Is that you're just like, you just got this grin and this noise, and like my reaction wasn't like mad, but it was just like, oh, this is the funniest / super irritating thing.
What the F are you doing, dude?
Oh
like,
god, it was so
good. I know
that
if that was me, I'd have lost on you and Toby.
You totally would have.
Well, you and Toby would sit there and do that crap to me where
I'd be
ready to go, and you two would start talking, and I'm like, guys, let's go.
And you had just done it to Toby, too.
Earlier the day before, I did it to Toby, and then I did it to you the next day. But that's how, so when I did the Geekcast with Toby and Alan, they would do the same thing. I'm ready to go, and they would start talking, and they would see that I would get. That's why, if you remember, a couple of times Toby would back down, because he knew Bobby's mad now. I gotta stop because he had seen it with Alan, and then ultimately.
And then I grabbed my guitar and start playing.
Yeah.
Like,
that started the demise of Alan. So I think Toby was just like, okay, we're going to get fired if we don't stop.
That's like me with my older brother. I just saw all the things that he did that got him like beaten and soap thrown in his mouth. And I was like, I guess I'm just not gonna do that. Bobby, do you want to get started with this show?
Let's do it.
Do you want to do it? I'm pumped to have you back, man. And you know what? Why don't we give them all the credit? Actually, no, I don't want to give them all the credit. They get some of the credit, but all the people who supported us over the years, Bobby, episode 100. Ooh, I got some butterflies. I got some butterflies. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
it's been.
I feel actually better now. Now that we've actually gone live and I see the chat scroll.
I know, but this is real.
I feel better.
Here's the other thing too: is that I know that once this episode is over, then you're gone again. I feel like this is like the dream where you're like.
The thing is, though, this is what's like. I should be nervous. Like I haven't done this in a couple of months now, and you do it every week.
I know,
so
but you were the pro right from the start, right from that first episode. I had remember this. I had the scruffy face and the fat head and the bad hair, and I was like, "Hi, Bobby," and my teeth were messed up. Yeah, my teeth were all oh gosh. Yeah, there's all fix that all up. And I was like, "Hi, Bobby. I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna do." But I did the T-shirt thing right on the first day. And one of the surprises I had for you, but I didn't have time to get. I was going to wear 4 shirts for you today, one for every topic. Jesus. But they looked really stupid. Like they look because this is kind of big and it looked really dumb. This would have had to been on the bigger. Anyway, I can go just like.
You lost weight. I will say that from when we first met.
Yeah, I lost like 20 pounds, man.
Yeah. You look.
I'm putting it back on. I put about 10 pounds back on, so I'm a net 10 pounds.
It's because what Link doesn't eat, you eat. So it's
that too. Yeah, everything. I just could eat. Oh my gosh. Bobby, did you know that we are live on youtube.com/WeTheNerdy? Thanks to everyone at patreon.com/MakeUsBetter. All the patrons and the Majin patrons at Patreon. Like our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks at twitch.tv/chicks_18 and Mr. Mark Moody, the glorious one himself, at youtube.com/Mr. Moody Reviews. Our gold executive producers, the two of the gentlemen from Quest for Pixels, Mr. Sheldon Benedict, and our newest patron, Tony Baker. Holy crap, man. High five. Unbelievable. And our gentlemen and gentlelady executive producers, Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, and Nick Milicia from Next Level Freaking Games. Bobby, let's do this. We're live, Bobby. We're live. What's the next button that I do?
Let's face it. As Nintendo fans, we are often left slightly disappointed and scratching our heads asking why. Where is our Super Mario Galaxy 3? Why isn't Metroid out yet? Bring back the Ice Climber, seriously, and what were you thinking of the Virtual Boy? Well, sit back as Sean Capri and Bobby Pauls do just that. That's right, this is If We Ran Nintendo. Now, cue the music, maestro.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 100 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo guru, back from the ever-loving dead world, resurrected for one episode for all you people watching live, and I am with the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sheldon. What is up?
I am hyperventilating, dude. What the hell? It just hypes me up so much to be podcasting with you. Seriously, how good does this feel? Gabe Hills, it definitely has been too long. I love everybody in the chat. This is incredible. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna get to you. So, we both saw something, Bobby. We saw something in the chat that Mr. Moody had said. Do you want to address this?
Mr. Moody, that's not new logo. That's not new intro. That's old intro.
Boy.
That's like the second intro we used to do. Shout out to Justin Masson and Gary Gray.
That's right.
Those guys. What had happened was I had gone to Justin Masson and said, "Hey man, could you do an intro? Watch episode. Seriously, watch the last episode for that little breakdown because that is hilarious stuff right there."
Mm-hmm.
But I went to Justin Masson and said, "Hey man, could you do a voiceover for us for the intro?" And he did. And then I threw it to Gary Gray and said, "Hey man, here's the voiceover intro. Could you do some artwork?" Because he had done stuff for the Ink Strike podcast, so I knew he could animate it, and I was like, this could be a good combination. And look at it now. Now Gary's working with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nintendo
awesome.
Village.
So that's nice. Yeah, man, that's the nice thing, all the communication. So it's really old school, really, when you break it down. But man, look at all the people here, dude.
I know, it's incredible.
You guys are amazing. Awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing. So let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout
Geek
outs.
outs! Yeah, geek outs! Yeah, Bobby is so happy for the geek outs. Look at all this Lego I got. I got all these things and toys. I got this mug. I'm geeking out about podcasting with you. This is crazy, man. I don't even think I keep it cool when I podcast with like big time people. And I was like, this is the biggest time. This is the biggest time. I know, take it easy.
I was like, sitting there like, what the hell is that, man?
Take it easy, man. I stroke your ego.
I know.
Stroke it good.
Quick.
Oh God, I can't even think right now, Bobby. Thank God you're here. I can't do this. Like, you have to do this for me.
My first shout out has to go to the entire community. For those that don't know, probably 2 months ago now. Well, January, my wife had left me, and we were trying to work things out, and I had felt at the time, in order for me to work on us and get us back together, I was to leave everything and kind of not leave permanently, but if that's what she wanted, I was going to leave permanently. But my idea was take a break, figure things out between us, because that was the most important thing in my life. And then when the time came, come back. Fast forward a couple months later, and we are still separated. We are going to get divorced now. We're in the process of selling the house. Just don't want to catch people up to speed.
This is the worst shout out of all time.
No, but it's going to come back around. Stop. And
shout out to the lawyers.
The thing of it is like, you guys don't really know what's been happening, and I wanted to tell you guys. That's why I'm not really back in the full capacity. Like, you see where I'm at. This isn't the setup you guys are used to, and I don't feel comfortable winging it. Like, I felt like in the beginning, I got up to a certain level of production value, and I didn't want to go backwards. So I kind of was like, let me take more time. Plus, it's a little noisy. And I basically had to tell my mom, like, go stay in that closet for a couple hours, and then I'll let you out.
At least send her to a movie or something.
No, she's okay. She's
all right,
elderly.
All right.
Just, we put her.
She's elderly.
The shout out basically is to all the community, the guys and girls, Tammy, over Tammy. in the Discord, everybody that's reached out to me on Instagram, Cleva, everybody that's texted me, everybody that's hit me on Twitter, on the DMs. There's just so many to name, but honestly, man, it feels so amazing to have the outpouring that you guys have shown me. And every time, like, dude, Joey Splat, so like send a message. He's like, man, since Nintendo Guru left, I got nobody to watch for Nintendo content and all that. And it makes my heart swell, dude. And I feel like the Grinch. Like,
Sheedy's here. Sorry.
It's and honestly, man, I'd be lost without you guys. Like, you guys have, I stay focused on that, the end goal. And the end goal is I will be back. And trust me, I am working on things. You thought I was doing stuff before. You have no clue what's about to hit you people. Bobby. Nobody has it. The trendsetter, the pace setter will be back. I will be pace setting everybody and making everybody's heads explode, like, and sit there and scratch their heads and going, how the hell is he doing all this?
Well, thank God.
Trust me,
I can't keep this up. Whew. Bobby, I don't know how you do it.
So the other thing is Josh Stapleton. In a time when I needed it, that whole Mario Golf thing.
Oh,
dude, he's the one that kicked off the tournaments. He reached out to me and said, hey, you got Mario Golf on the 3DS? I said, yes. He got with Donnie over at PSVG, and they created these tournaments, and we play every week. And, dude, I have a blast. Like, every night I sit home, and I jump on and I play and stuff, and, like, jams, the whole Payday, Brotherhood and stuff. You guys, Aaron and Rybo and all, you guys are amazing, man. Thank you for inviting me into that. Like, that is huge. That's a massive shout out. That's number one. I got two more.
You keep running with it, Bobby. You got, this is your show.
Jules, watch him. This guy has turned into like a brother of mine, and constantly calling me. He'll call me on the phone. He'll call me on Skype, whatever he can, and he'll just say to me, like, how are you doing? What's going on? But without Jules, I would not be able to go to E3 this year. And he has created an opportunity for me That is a dream, man. I remember when E3 first got started, they used to do CES. That was a thing that all video games went to, was CES. And then they were like, we're tired of being here with all the tech people. We're going to go create our own thing. And they started E3. And I remember reading that in Nintendo Power and going, man, one day I would love to be there. And that's happening. And not only is it happening, I get to go with a developer, that it is also launching a game while we're there. And it's like, boom, mind blown. Like, all the dreams are just coming together. And so that's number 2. And then my third and final one, and then I'll shut up and leave it to Sean.
How can I compete with this? I should have gone first, man. My shots are not going to be even close.
Ojo. These guys, man, right here. Number 1, thank you for the projector. They sent me this thing about a month ago now. Not only did they send me the projector, they are paying for half my flight to go to E3.
Bawby.
Yeah, man, they reached out to me, and as a thank you for everything that I did, because I was one of the first ones to jump on the bandwagon of that thing. They basically sent me.
Can you buy that now?
Yeah. Go to Indiegogo. They're $269, I think. Money well spent, man. I love mine. Seriously, this thing is phenomenal.
That blows my mind.
So good.
Indiegogo sounds like Kickstarter, which I guess it sort of is, but like that's where you still purchase it.
So what happens is it starts off like Kickstarter, but if it's a really successful thing, they go, we're going to extend it and sell out of there.
Oh,
so
smart.
That's basically what happened. Yeah.
Then you don't have to go somewhere else to get it. I like it.
Go somewhere else. It's
that's
all
where
right
you come
there.
to know it.
The site's set up, and you go in, you buy it. Dude, it is. Listen, I hooked my SNES Classic up to it, and was playing it on the side of the house. How cool is that, dude?
That's crazy.
That is like amazing. Anything with an HDMI hooks into this thing, and you can play it, and it's just a lot of fun.
I know. I want to get one, man. Honestly, like it looks.
They're really
so good.
They're really awesome. I'm taking it to E3.
Well, ports.
And Jules and I
I'm sorry. Docks are $100, right? Like
yeah, docks are $89.
Yeah, just get that. That's way like better.
Here's what you think of. If you're looking to just buy an additional TV or something like this thing, I can put it anywhere I want and play it anytime I want. And it's loud, man, so loud. But when I go to E3, I'm taking it with me. And Jules and I are going to be playing Soccer Slammers.
Oh my god!
On the wall someplace in E3. So you guys got to look for us because it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a blast. So
are you going to be like vlogging and stuff the whole time? Like, can we follow you on?
I talked to Jules at first. I wasn't. I was like, I just want to enjoy it. I don't want to have to keep remembering it. And he's like, dude, just do a little intro in the beginning of the day. Film some stuff you have, do a montage, and then show it, and I'll post. So I will. I'll kind of keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. I'm going to meet the Mega Dads.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Right. I totally. Okay, so I even I'm listening to you talk about going with Jules, and I'm picturing all that, and then of course, the Mega Dads are going to the E3 as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be amazing. God. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
So amazing. Oh my gosh, that's incredible, man. Dreams do come true, and you busted your ass off.
Seth Hay reached out to me. He wants to meet TJ Santula. He wants to meet.
Oh, so much handsomeness.
Mitchell Popish. Dude, I can't remember everybody. There's so many people that have reached out to me and are like, I'm going to be there. Can we meet? And I'm like, dude, absolutely.
See, that's why I just want to go to LA.
Hoshway.
Oh, Hoshway. What's going on, Hoshway?
Yeah, Hoshway's going to be there, so I'm going to meet him, and I can't wait, dude. It's going to be a blast. Ooh. And I might as well say it. I'm just going to say it.
Oh, what?
Fingers crossed.
Oh, no.
Might be meeting Colin Moriarty.
Oh, yeah, right.
I got the email.
Ooh, that's too much.
An email and asked to meet up.
Okay, so I was gonna say it would be amazing for me to just book a flight and be in LA because I don't have to be in the conference for it to enjoy everybody's company. But you guys are gonna be way too busy for schmucks like me.
You could come. Listen, you come out.
I can't.
You can stay. Me and you'll sleep together in the same.
I know that'd be all right. We could save money and be warm.
Okay, I'd be all right, man. I'd be all right with that. Well, dude, we'll see. We'll see. But go ahead. What's your shout out?
I don't have anything even close to this. I wanted to give.
It doesn't matter.
I know. How can I should be used to not being able to compete and compare with the great guru himself. But my shout outs were just from the very beginning, which is Jonathan Brown and Gary Gray. I feel like we're there from the beginning. And they are the two. Danielle Crowder as well, but I don't know if she still listens to me. Chibi, you get a shout out as well, of course. Brand new mod on the We the Nerdy channel, by the way.
Oh, really?
She's the best mod ever. And I was like, oh, yeah, we should probably make you a mod right now.
Keep on check, bro. She is the best.
But Jonathan Brown left a message on the episode 99, and he's like, yeah, I was there from the beginning. And I'm like, I remember, man. I remember right from the very start you were there. And Gary Gray, of course, for making the animated, like, I think, can we just take a second right now? That's animated. He made that with his bare hands and cardboard paper, I think is how that worked. With
it was computer. This isn't South Park.
The glue stick and those safety scissors and some cardboard, and he made that himself. That is bananas.
You know who else was kind of there from the beginning? And
Joey Craig, and I don't want to slight anybody who came.
No, but this one was a funny
Craig,
one.
of course.
Gabe Hills.
Gabe Hills was there from the start too. Yes.
But do you remember how that happened?
Yeah, because you guys were fighting, and this is the whole thing, Bobby. You've demonstrated this like a dozen times at least. Somebody comes up and is like, "Hey, man, what the shit?" And you're like, "Let's have a conversation." And now you're best friends. That's the power of the guru, man.
I love me some Gabe Hills. But what happened was in a Facebook group, I posted the show. And I was like, if we ran into it, and he came in and was like, oh, here we go.
Who are these guys? Yeah.
They're going to tell us how Nintendo should run it. What's your resume to run a multi-billion? And I was like, dude, it's all tongue-in-cheek. It's fun. And he was like, I'll check it out. Next thing you know,
I know.
He's like this with me. I love the guy, man. So it's awesome.
Well, you used to say we couldn't run a lemonade stand, let alone this thing.
Yes. Yeah, we can't even run a lemonade stand, let alone the multi-billion-dollar thing.
Holy crap. And we didn't know what this was. We literally didn't know what we were going to be doing in the beginning. We're like, we should probably just do something.
Well, the thing of it was, let's be honest, Nintendo was on a downswing. The Wii U really wasn't doing that well. And everybody was just taking shots at Nintendo everywhere you turned. And me as a Nintendo, I'll just say it, me as a Nintendo fanboy drove me nuts. And I was like, I just need to, kind of shut people up. And because, I always used to say, okay, rocket scientists, Nintendo's stupid. How would you fix it? How would you do it? And so it was kind of one of those things of this is an issue that people state. How would we handle it if we ran Nintendo? And how would we? And sometimes we were like, hey, Nintendo's doing okay with it. We're just going to leave it, do some tweaks or whatever. Nintendo Power, that's how it started. We started with, on the Geekcast, we did an episode where we discussed how we would handle bringing back Nintendo Power.
That's a good one.
And it was not a podcast at all. It was, if we ran Nintendo Power, Nintendo Power would be a better podcast than it is. I'm just going to say that. I don't feel like that's a good podcast at all. They need Jose Otaro.
I know, that blows my mind. They just it's such a good fit. They got one of the best
podcasters ever, man. Unless, and we don't know this, he could have a non-compete with.
I doubt it. I really.
You never know, man.
I mean,
you
maybe.
Never know, man. You never know. Oh, then again, Greg and Colin.
I was just thinking of them. They could do. They did it almost. They didn't do their PlayStation. Anyway, it's a whole other side. I do have a couple of shout-outs aside from those guys who were there from the beginning. My new partners in the Patreon. Since you left, everybody stepped up big time and made sure that this thing could stay afloat. And everybody who stayed with us, or even took a break and then is back, all that stuff, guys. The belief that you showed in this it warms my heart. And trust me, there was many nights where I was going to bed, sleepless nights, thinking, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I don't know if this is the best thing for everybody. I'm kind of, it's. If this goes down, then I'm asking Mark to cancel his Patreon and stuff. I
remember you coming to me when I first left, and you were like, what do I do? And I said to you, this is DX, man. This is DX.
I know.
You're Triple H now. I'm Shawn Michaels. I'm leaving. I just lost my title to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm leaving. What does Triple H do? He comes out with new members the next week, and boom, DX
Sweet
gets
new
bigger
underwear.
than it was.
Yep.
And it was I was like, go be
tiny nipples.
Yeah. Go be Triple H. I remember saying it to you. Go be Triple H.
I know. And you've always, anyways, you showed me the way from the very beginning, and especially with the Patreon. So thank you to Bad Bit Games, Mr. Bad Bit himself, Joseph, Mark Carabin from the Warp Whistle, and the boys from Nintendo Nostalgia, Jacob and Ryan. Guys, thank you so much. It took us how many podcasts, Nintendo themed stuff, to try and fill the gap, try and fill the void of the Nintendo guru himself. So I've tried, man. And also Joe After Work and the Paddy Wagon himself, NintenTalk, Mr. Patrick. They did not join, but they were there at a very critical time for me. So we did a great episode of Planet Nintendo podcast. and we chatted afterwards, and just they were there, man. And Joe After Work especially is just such an incredible streamer. If you guys haven't checked him out, twitch.tv/Joe After Work, unbelievable, showing me the ropes and all the different things that you can do with OBS. Yeah,
that's the thing, man.
Everybody
is so giving. Nobody is like hiding trade secrets behind. Everybody's just forthcoming and such. Rybo is a godsend. None of this, any of this, happens without Rybo.
Literally, my computer was dead. I was laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling, going like, I don't know what to do. And then my phone just got like bloop bloop, and Rybo's like, maybe it's this.
My streams were so glitched out, and Rybo would come to me every single night. Send me your analytics. Let me look at them. He'd analyze it.
That's nuts.
And then come back and say, do this, try this. Like, who does that?
I know.
Only a really good Canadian, not Sean Capri.
I just don't know what I'm talking about. I would try, but I don't know. I'm not gonna help you. It's kind of like maybe I should just step over here and maybe it'll fix itself. That would be better.
Yeah.
What can I say, Bobby?
So,
all right, man. Do you think Todd Oxford's pretty upset with us?
I could care less about Todd Oxford. Let's he's too busy. He's too busy in Adventureland. He ain't worried about it.
Hey, you want to talk about what you're playing? Shout out to Flexopposed.
You know what, dude? Seriously, let's because I haven't talked about it in a while.
Okay, this segment is my favorite. One of my favorite segments, Bobby. It's the What You Playing presented by Flexopposed. Okay, go.
Okay, South Park. I've been playing South Park.
Oh yeah.
Fractured Butthole. Dude, first off, to see this game on a Nintendo console, everybody says that, but man, I'm sitting there and Cartman's dropping F-bombs, and I'm like, what is happening here? Like, I just expect, like, when I used to say the F-bombs, like, the Switch sound pop in, which would have been funny as hell. Like, if you could have made, like, where they did that, it would have been hilarious. But I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm really early in the game yet, but I love it. I'm having fun. Dude, I
can't wait for your mom to walk in on you playing that. Bobby, what are you playing?
She hears worse than that out of me, so that's nothing.
True enough. To her.
Yeah, to her too. Exactly. Earlier I was like, "Get the F in the closet, woman," and I shoved her in there.
Well, it's like when you were yelling at her driving you to get your NES.
Yeah. Back in the day. I was in the back seat, like, hit the effing gas, woman, and she's like, "I'll turn this car around, you little son of a." Yeah. So I played that. Dude,
nice.
Obviously, Mario Golf with everybody playing the tournaments. So if you guys get a chance, man, seriously, jump in and play. It's so much fun.
Do you think it would be okay if we put the tournament number in the Discord? Do you think Donnie would mind?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Josh Stapleton, is that cool? You in the chat? Let's figure this out because it's incredible, man.
It's really not my tournament, so I really shouldn't say.
I mean, I don't know. True. It's probably fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh says do it. We got a blessing.
Well, they put it on Twitter, so what's the difference?
Sure enough.
They put it on Twitter for everybody to see it. So, and then the last thing is, dude, I'm back in Minecraft.
Chelsea played that for the first time the other night.
I can't stop, dude.
You're hilarious with Minecraft, man.
I like quit and I take months off and then I just let me see what's going on in Minecraft. And I jump and then next thing you know, I'm like off doing this crazy stuff that I can't. It's a mess.
You just get this idea and then next thing you know, it's Friday and you started on Monday.
I start building this stuff and it's like the problem is I built this building when I first started. And then typically I'll build other rooms off of it and stuff. But I built it up against a mountain, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be so cool if I could just build a hallway into the mountain, and then clear the mountain out 4 blocks high across, and then dig it all the way up, and then where the walls go, break the walls out, and then put glass.
Break the walls down, and then you break the glass, and then it's Stone Cold comes out. Oh, it's all wrestling again.
But I go into the thing, and I'm like, and then I can look out throughout the mountain. I must have built this thing against the biggest mountain in God's green earth because I've been here for months gutting this thing. And every time I think I'm at the end, I'm like, oh my God, here's more of the mountain. And I got to keep going. And I'm like, I think we're going for a year, man.
It's like you breaking out of jail with a spoon, dude. You're just like, chunk, chunk, chunk. And next day.
Redemption.
Yep, what's up? Nice little shout out.
So I saw a meme the other day.
Did you?
And it was Shawshank Redemption 2. With Jared from Subway and Bill Cosby.
Oh, come on. You're supposed to like empathize with the people in the Shawshank. You're supposed to like, oh no,
but not these two.
They made mistakes, but I
empathize with. Yeah, these two are But anyway, so let's jump into the topic, shall we?
Is that how we do it? How did we jump into topics? Is that just like that?
We're going to talk about topics. It was if we ran Nintendo. Basically, so if we ran Nintendo, the past 2 years, Nintendo has done this thing where 2 years ago they did a Zelda themed booth, and then last year they did a Mario Odyssey themed booth.
Yep.
We don't really know what their big game for.
We do.
Smash obviously is probably their biggest game for 2018, but we also don't know if there's something else out there that's gonna trump it or kind of like come up to par with it.
Doesn't it suck we need a new word for that?
No, we don't. So stop with your Canadian stuff.
I thought maybe we might, but I'm glad you put it down.
We're not going to say Trudeau it, so that's not going to happen.
What would that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. He's English second language. Give guy a break.
Whatever. Don't give me that nonsense. So essentially, the idea is what would we do if we ran Nintendo in terms of what would the booth look like and what would we do? So you have two options here. I think three options, really. You could go Splatoon because of the big Splatoon tournament they're doing. But I feel like that's a bad idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Obviously, Smash would be another one that you could do. But the one that I'm thinking that I would do if I ran Nintendo is Animal Crossing.
Okay, well, I completely disagree.
Okay, so wait a minute.
Respectfully disagree. No F-bombs.
Because I feel like there's two ways to go. One, we don't know if Animal Crossing is coming this year. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of whatever. Or they're going to announce Animal Crossing. Maybe Animal Crossing is next year. I don't know. But I just kind of felt like if they built a little village and they had characters throughout within, and then you could kind of go into these little villages and check stuff out. But I mean, if it's okay, so obviously you like the idea of Smash. What do you do for Smash?
I think Smash. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, let's start at the beginning, because not only was Zelda and then Mario enormous, they were huge productions. They all had like their own sections, like parts of the games were like manifested in the booth, right? So I think about like Animal Crossing, that still sorts of fits. Splatoon, I don't think that it fits necessarily, but I think Smash, you actually would be able to have like sections of the booth that are dedicated to the characters, and there's almost like a sense of like discovery of like who else is going to be in this thing. You have the whole video and everything, you get a good idea of what's all there, but then you kind of like want to leave it to the journalists and people who are there to discover who else is there, and it's like it's almost like a fun house.
Wait a minute. So this is what I would do. I like your idea, but what I would do is kind of section it off, right? With like you have a Mario section, right? And
it becomes like Nintendo Land. I actually have a hey, shout out to Justin Masson. Notes. Well, there's actually not a lot of notes there, but a couple bullet points is as good as you got.
So you have the Mario section, right, where you have Mario and Luigi and whatever, and they're kind of fighting, and then you have like Zelda, and then Metroid, right, and then Kirby, and then you keep a couple sections for the first few days tarped up. Yeah. And then that night you run a trailer, an announcement trailer of let's say Mega Man's coming back. Then the next day when the people go in the booth, that section's pulled off and there's a whole Mega Man section.
Yeah, man.
And then the next day, maybe
I want statues. I want Smash statues. Is like the tent poles. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that would be kind of really awesome. You go in there and each day you have a new discovery of, because the media would be all over like, oh my god, I gotta go see, like the first day obviously you go in there and it's like, oh my god, like there's a whole Mega Man section now and people snapping pictures. But also the buzz of, why is this section still tarped up? What is going on? And like it would build this crazy hype that Nintendo already would have.
What if you gamified
it? Take it to another level.
What if you gamified it where like people who are attending the conference had to like do certain like it actually pulls people to Nintendo's booth. It pulls them away, because that's the whole thing, is like E3 is this giant mecca. Everybody's trying to shout at the top of their lungs that they got something exciting about. What if you had like some sort of draw that pulled people in and did like they had tasks or something to achieve, and you got little like coins or something, and then when you got enough coins you could like unlock the next section, and if you were the dude,
well, they do stuff like that too, as it is, because I remember seeing videos of people that were there like to get like a Mario hat, you had to go play certain other games.
Yep.
And then you got to go. So
I've got a red shirt like that from Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you play certain games, they give you the coins, and then you could go into the new section to see the reveal, and then that's basically how the reveal happens. Like, oh my god, Mega Man's, and then everybody would be trying to play the games to get in there to see the Mega Man section. That'd be kind of cool.
The crazy thing too about everything being hidden too is there's this weird thing. We used to talk about this all the time, where the mystery of everything causes people to create rumors, and they.
Yes.
And that actually kind of helps them. Like, even when in the NX days, we got all those, like, fake controllers and everything. And we're like, even if it wasn't real or if it was real, it's like we're talking about Nintendo and we're getting hyped. And that we saw, that turned out to be a good thing. That we were, like, just imagining what Nintendo could be up to. And that kind of, like, it takes mind space. It takes it away from the other guys. And now we're thinking about, to me, the only risk about Smash is that once you do Smash, what do you do after? Like, how can you up this? How can you be bigger than Smash? I don't think that's possible. And the other thing, too, is the reason I think it would actually be Smash and where it makes sense is because the last two, we knew about Zelda was coming, sort of. Mario, we definitely knew.
Zelda was coming. Yep.
We knew a lot about, like, so I think a lot of people in the chat are saying, like, we're waiting for Pokemon, and I don't see them.
Well, they don't. Okay, so Pokemon doesn't ever really make an appearance.
That too.
E3. Like, even last year, it was kind of like some dude sitting at a table drawing or whatever, and they just talked about it. But typically when Pokemon is there, it's set off by itself, and it's by itself, and it's not, like, they might make an announcement or talk about it, but it's kind of like by itself.
That's
they don't
crazy.
Really go into crazy details, yeah.
Because of what Pokemon is, anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's Nintendo owns a part of it, not the
totally.
Making. And that's the thing that people always tend to forget is they just think like Nintendo owns the whole thing. And it's like no, just a small.
That's when everybody bottled the Pokemon stock, and they're like, wait a minute, or the Nintendo stock after Pokemon Go. I'm like, wait a minute,
how cool would it be? We're talking about this, right? And we're going into this crazy thing. So how cool would it be? You have 3 days essentially of E3, right? So there's 3 sections that you could do this surprise with. I think this is what I would do. Obviously, if I ran Nintendo, I think day one, you go with the character to kind of build the hype of, like, you're glad they're there, whatever. I think Mega Man is a perfect fit for day one because people loved Mega Man when he got revealed. It'd be nice to see him back. But day 2,
I think that's even going too far, Bob. I think you give something that, like, is, like, totally intriguing to hardcore Nintendo fans, and that's it. Like, this time you get, like, Breath of the Wild Zelda confirmed, and, like, that's something we sort of already knew. Like, we sort of knew. So that's the thing.
But like, that would be in the Zelda sections. Like, you could do that in the Zelda section that you're gonna have. I'm talking about the reveal sections. So the first reveal would be the Mega Man to kind of, like, tell people, like, oh, there's actually reveals under these tarps. I love Mega Man. I'm so glad he's back. Boom. Day 2 is Shovel Knight.
Ooh.
And then people are now flipping out, like, oh my god, we never saw Shovel Knight coming. And then day 3 is the one that nobody would ever see happening.
Goku.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm telling you. Because Microsoft and Nintendo are kind of working a little bit side by side now lately. I mean, come on, you can get achievements through Minecraft. Come on, I mean...
I know. What do you think? Do you think that's a mistake? I think that's a mistake.
I think it's a mistake on
Nintendo's part.
I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake on Microsoft's part.
That you can get achievements. Oh, I don't think we talked about that. That's interesting.
It's more giving away, man. It's just you're giving games away all over the, you know, like, it's just more of that.
Yeah. Anyway,
in theory, you hope that people come over to your console to play and get the achievements over there, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, why should I go to the exclusive when I can get the achievements elsewhere? I just think it's a mistake, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, Banjo-Kazooie. If you get Banjo-Kazooie, you can pretty much write the Ice Climbers out of there.
Then that's fine. I'm fine with that.
That's a trade-off you can live with? Okay, yeah.
I'm talking to you people.
Okay.
Ice Climbers. Hot trash in the summer.
Oh, there it
is.
All
day long. No reason for them to be in this game. They are garbage to the nth degree. Horrible.
Okay.
Back to the show.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think Goku would be the big surprise. You need some Dragon Ball.
That's
Everybody's
the one that, like, man, that would be massive. That would be. But the thing of it is like, for me, I can't remember. Like, man, you know what? As I'm saying this, what about the Turtles, man?
Oh, the Ninja Turtle. Yeah. Well, I don't want those new ones. I don't want anything to do with those new Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Well, whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Well, it's here. It's literally here in Splatfest.
Well, that's because it's a new cartoon. That's,
yeah, garbage.
You got somebody giving you
Speaking
money,
of hot trash in the summer.
Yeah. But the art styles don't match. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to change them to not, you know, they're going to change them to fit, whatever. But it's, you could have a turtle and then you do the flip with the...
Yeah, of course. Well, they're ninjas. Yeah. They're Ninja Turtles. So they can fight.
Okay, let's jump to the next topic.
By the way, hang on. The topics are, because I'm always naming the topics after the guests, right? So we had Chris White, so it was Enya 2, so it was white and whiter, topic white and topic whiter. So the first one was topic Bawby, just like your name. Topic 2 is Bawby, like the W. Topic 3 is topic Guru, and then topic 4 is topic Pauls.
Oh, good God.
So topic Bawby.
This is topic if we ran Nintendo. Don't listen to that nonsense. All right, so if we ran Nintendo...
Why don't you just leave me again, Bobby?
It's going to happen.
I know. I don't want it to be over.
How would we fix the Nintendo tax? I think it's never been more prevalent than it is right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot to do with... When the Switch first launched, I was one of those people that was just like, I don't care. I'm going to pay whatever it is. I want it on the Switch. I want to show my support. But now we're in a situation where games are being ported and they're also launching elsewhere and they're the same price across the board or they're higher. So let's just look at something in the recent history like South Park. I fully agree with the price they're getting for South Park. It is... Yes, you can get it cheaper on other consoles. I get that. But it is new to the Switch. There's people that haven't played it. There's no reason for Ubisoft to lose money on this thing. It does cost them money to port games over. I get it totally. Probably what you'll see is once they've made their money back, that's when the sale prices will start happening for that type of game. But when I look at a game like... It's a lot of the indie games.
That's where I'm thinking.
What's really hit me right now. The indie games just don't make any sense to me.
Here's the game that doesn't make any sense to me. It's very important for our group specifically. Payday 2 has got to come down in price. You guys have got...
That's high.
For so many reasons. How many years old is it? And how much of a step back is it technologically? Guys, I can't justify that. As much as I want to play with everybody, I can't justify that price. I'm so sorry.
My thing is so the first step is this. You tell these people, you basically throw a thumbs up or a middle finger up to GameStop and Amazon and Best Buy, and you say, no more are we doing this parallel pricing on physical versus...
But do you think they're that concerned about it? Like, as Nintendo, like, this is the thing. When we talked about this before, once upon a time, where, like, if the value of something is what people are going to pay for it, like, if people are buying it, then, like, there's really no incentive to pull back on it. It's mostly that, like, I personally wouldn't pay for it. There's tons, as you said, like, a lot of people are just, this is new to them, and within their ecosystem, it's worth a full-price game because it's the first time that it's available. And for Nintendo, I guess you get a cut of every game sold, so, like, the larger that price is, like, you're better off for them.
Here's the thing. They're making this rule based upon they don't want to upset the retailers. And in my mind...
That's a cop-out. I think they still like getting their big cut.
I don't think that's the case at all, because they're still going to get their big cut, whether it's digital at... Because you look at a game like Payday, right? A game like Payday, they could probably sell it for 40 or 30 on digital, and then the physical copy obviously charge more for it. I look at, like, why should I have to pay $30 for Wild Gunman or Wild Guns, whatever, because the physical copy has to be $30? We know why it's $30 for the physical. It's $30 because they're putting instruction booklets in it. They're doing all them extra steps that are costing money. But then the physical or the digital, why is it the same price? That's where I see an issue with some of the Nintendo tax, is give me the option that if I'm buying this thing digitally, why do I have to pay the same price as physically? And I think that's part of the... Because Rhyme was the first one to say that. Rhyme came out and was like, we're higher because we're putting a physical game out, right? The cartridges we know cost more. So you have two options now. You either basically pay the companies a little bit of money to offset the cost of the cartridges, so you lower the cost of the cartridges to the people. Because that's the thing. Nintendo's getting their cut, but they're also getting a cut off of the cartridges. So they're double dipping. So for me, it's like you have two options. You either tell them you don't have to charge the same price for digital versus physical, or you go, okay, we're going to lower the cost of the cartridges, so this way you can sell the game for what you really want to sell it for, and then it is what it is. And that's the problem. And I think it's also why we're seeing a lot of indie games coming out digitally first, and then months later coming out with a physical copy.
That's the case with any indie game, like on any system, whether you're putting onto a cartridge or you're putting onto a disc.
Yeah, but you look at a game like okay, so you look at a game like Flipping Death, right? Flipping Death is basically going to go day and date, cartridge and digital. It doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? There's a lot of games that doesn't have to be that way, but they're doing it that way. And I don't think it's one of these things where they're looking at it and going like, oh, there's a huge call to go digital or go physical. Dude, some of the ones that Limited Run are doing right now, nobody's asking. That Mercenary game, nobody's asking for that, a physical copy of that game. You know what I mean? So I think it's one of those situations where they're doing it digitally, getting it at the price they want to, getting some sales, and then they go, okay, now we can put it physical. We're going to raise the price, because at least that way people look at it and go, okay, that makes sense. I'm paying a little bit more, but I'm getting the instruction book. I may get a keychain. I might get something, little tchotchke thing, but I'm also getting the physical copy of the game. Because I got news for you. South Park Stick of Truth, garbage in terms of physical. I opened it up. There's a little pamphlet about South Park in there. Not even, it's a one thing, and the cartridge. But when I open an indie game, at least I know it's coming with some wares and some stuff. So that's, you know.
And so was South Park more money? Is that what you're saying? South Park was more money physical?
No, South Park was the same cost, physical versus digital. But the thing of it is like you're not getting anything. So it doesn't make, it doesn't make sense. Maybe UB did want to sell that for a little bit cheaper, but because they did the physical, it has to be higher. That's the thing. We're seeing that there's probably a $5 to $10 price gap on the physical copy versus the digital. So if that's the case, if you offset that cost and go, hey guys, we're going to give you more money for these physical copies or for these cartridges, so that way it fixes things.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, okay, so there's almost two taxes that we're talking about. There's a tax that the Nintendo tax of putting a game period on Switch versus other games.
I think they pull 40%.
Right. Yeah. So then they got to jack up the price so they make the same sort of net off of their game. And then there's the physical to digital. And I feel like the digital to physical probably exists almost everywhere. You're always going to be paying more. But the point of I think the topic is really that, and hopefully the stream is still okay. I'm getting we're good.
The stream's cool.
The point of this is that, like, when Wolfenstein comes out, it's going to be more money.
It was $60, yeah.
It might even be more. Or even and indie games.
Yeah.
So there's that side of it too. So is Nintendo, like, the thing is they're still selling boatloads of games. So if I ran Nintendo, I wouldn't touch it. I would look at it like it's working. People are silly as hell because why are they paying these prices? But yes, like,
they're paying these prices because obviously you're paying it because you want the convenience.
Right.
That whole thing of taking it on the go and playing it at home, it means something to a lot of people.
A lot of people.
You know, and if the games are very parallel, people are excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And they are. They're pretty parallel. I mean, there are some. You get some bugs here and there. You get some glitches where you get some frame rate drops and stuff. But ultimately, like, dude, we play Doom on a handheld. That's unheard of, man. Mm-hmm. That's crazy to think. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So on the indie side, maybe does this get into, is it the next topic?
I was going to say, let's jump into that one.
Yeah, let's do topic Paul's.
So if we ran Nintendo, how would we support indie developers better than we currently are? Because I don't feel like Nintendo... Okay, so of the big three, right? Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. I feel like Nintendo is way more friendlier to the indies right now than the other two are. And they're getting more over there than the other two are. Absolutely. This is your true console indie machine.
Do you think Jules would say that?
Still, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about in terms of what they're getting. And that's what I mean.
I don't think that has anything to do with what Nintendo's doing. Right.
What I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like it's what Nintendo's doing. I feel like that's the console of choice for indies because they see the sales happening there. Let's be honest. If games were selling on Xbox, that's where all the indies would be.
Right.
It's just a matter of where it all goes. But because Steam is the ultimate right now. Steam is number one, I feel.
Because you can just like put it up there.
Yeah. And then
create
it's Switch,
an account and then it's there.
Sony,
right.
Then it's Xbox. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. Okay, so hang on. I want you to define something really quickly. Like, so in terms of, because there's two things we're talking about. One is where indies happen to sell. The second thing is like what the companies actively do for the indies to help them along. Because if we want to get into that, there's a different story.
So my ranking right there was in terms of where indies go. It was not how they get treated. In terms of how they get treated, then it's simple. Steam is still number one. Then it's Xbox.
Do you think so?
Dude, Steam, because there's no handcuffing.
I guess so.
You throw it up and it's done.
I guess so.
They don't mess with them.
Okay, that's fair.
They take their cut. It is what it is. They're not. Don't get me wrong. They're not trying to attract them. They just go there because it's easy to work with and easy to do. So for me, Steam is still number one. Xbox would be number two. Then I would go Sony, and then I would go Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is way down on the list in terms of what they're doing to help indie developers.
Here's the thing that I want to maybe give Nintendo a little bit more credit, where normally I'm just knocking them down. I think the Nindies thing, just alone the fact that they do Nindies directs, I think has got to give them a little bit of credit. And like you and I remember watching the very first Nindies, and now Damon Baker is our favorite person in the world.
Yeah.
Where we came out of the launch for the Switch going like, what the hell is this? This is not, I don't want it. Like, this is going to cost a lot of money, and I had to teach you about exchange rates. And then Nindies comes along like, oh, dang, I want this thing. Like, Nindies filled the gap from that very first. And I think that as they continue to do these Nindies things, they kind of creep up. I think that's maybe all they need to do is, it's not exactly like they're cultivating the developers and like, oh, if you do this, and we can get into maybe some of the shortcomings for indies, but in terms of highlighting.
So the problem is this. Nintendo picks and chooses who they want to help.
Right.
And that's an issue.
That's so they're Nintendo. That's like classic 80s, 90s Nintendo,
they're not inviting to all parties.
Yep.
And I
good and bad.
I'm not going to go into details. Obviously, I know things that I don't want to get people in trouble and say things out of turn, so I won't go into too much depth. But trust me, I know for a fact that when companies have to put games on sale just to get spotlighted, that's ridiculous. Because the other thing is this.
Pretty smart too, though.
Now other people are starting to see that, and now this on sale bargain bin or whatever is starting to become inundated.
Yeah.
Where now you're going back through and you're trying to find all it's ridiculous. They need to, first step I would do is revamp the eShop. And that's kind of what we have as another thing. But we'll get into that.
But can't you see like this is sort of like the first steps of recreating whatever happened on Steam? Is you get all these games going and everybody's like, how do we possibly stand out? And then somebody figures out, well, if we're on sale, then that's another section. Like it's not entirely different. And then we just have all like these. I mean, it's good for us. You have like thousands of games on Steam that are like $3. PC gaming is incredibly inexpensive, but that's sort of like against what Nintendo really wants. They don't really care about the cheapest games. They want the best games.
And the thing of it is that's what I was gonna say. Like, I expect more from Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like, I expect Nintendo to rise up and do the right thing to make it better for everybody. Not
they
just
should start a Patreon
themselves. Yeah, they should start a Patreon. Too bad that name's already taken, but whatever. So
they could buy it from us.
My thing is that like when I look at what they're doing, like a simple tweet, they won't even send a simple tweet.
Yeah,
you gotta beg, steal, cheat to get them to just send a tweet to say like, "Hey guys, here it is." But then some games they'll tweet 2 or 3 times in the middle of the week, and statistically, if you look at things when they tweet a game, that game goes into the best sellers list that week. And it's insane. And to me, it's like, that's not... The other thing is I feel like they also reward bad behavior. And what I mean by that
let's get into that, yeah. Because I was going to say, they can't just tweet everybody. So let's talk about who they should and shouldn't.
No, but like, I look at like, I'm going to just say it is what it is, NBA Playgrounds. So NBA Playgrounds comes out. Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
There's
I see
stuff
what you
missing
mean.
with it. Frame rate drops, all this stuff. So what do? They tell them to patch it. And they create this giant patch. But instead of just making the patch and giving it to us, we had to go back in and re-download a second game, which then took them to the top because you're telling me that I got a free patch that fixes the game. I'm going to go download it.
Yeah.
But now I go download this game, and it helps them with their ratings.
Yep.
And shows that they're the best seller. Now it pulls them up to the top, and then guess what? Here we go, and everybody starts buying the game on top because they go, oh, this is the best seller. Everybody must love this. There's got to be a reason. Let me go get it. You're tricking. It's the hidden shell game where
luckily that hasn't happened since then.
Luckily it hasn't, but if I was Nintendo, I would slap them on the wrist. I would not have moved them to the top. I would have said, no, you're coming back down.
Honestly, I feel like they didn't even see... Well, that's true. If you can manually like adjust and get them the heck out of there.
They got to be able to manually adjust the list.
I don't know, man. Don't give them that much credit about anything online.
Hey, at least you can change your name. Let's get into that.
True enough. True enough. Just wait for Sony to make that announcement at E3 and everybody lose their minds. It's like, guys, let's just no. Yeah.
And Joseph Moran will be like, it's the greatest. It's the second coming of Christ. It's the greatest thing they've ever done, and this is why Sony's the best. Meanwhile, Xbox and Nintendo have been doing it for years. You know, my cell phone. I could change my name on my cell phone if I wanted to.
I can't wait to change it to my. My new PSN will be I miss my old PSN. That's my new name.
I can do that.
No, it's got to be Sean Capri Cross.
You'll pay $10 for that?
Maybe. I would.
All the pain and suffering, the first name change should be free. Honestly.
I totally...
we made you wait for this long. Here you go.
Yeah, we'll knock that network on its ass.
But that's the thing. It'll crash. Everything will crash because they're trying to change their names. But the thing of it is this. I feel like the lack of a good eShop hurts them. That hurts indie developers. Dude, that thing is jammed with shovelware. I don't know what's good, what's bad.
Do you want to get into it?
Well, you say that the Nindies spotlights are good. Yes, but they don't do them often enough. And I feel like that's what you use the Nintendo Power Podcast for. You take it and you go, make it a weekly show, and in that you highlight the best games that are launching that week on your comp. Don't talk about them all. You sit there and you go, okay, these are the top 2 games, top 3 games that we feel, top 3 is a fair one. These are the top 3 games of the week. These are the ones you need to go get. And don't talk about Nintendo games. Don't talk about Kirby. Don't talk about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze coming out.
Did you see how much Kirby sold, dude?
A lot.
Bonkers, man. Okay, but here's the thing. I want to
get rid of it.
I want to just like step on this just for a second.
Like,
and Joseph, I did listen.
Sean, real quick.
Yeah.
Right here at the top, it says, "Stop making Kirby games." And because it sounds like I can't make this ever happen.
That was so like I just got a bleeding nose looking at us. That was too much. What the hell was I even gonna say? Oh, I want to stop on the talking about like if you have. There's a balance here, and Nintendo is playing this balance very, very cautiously. It's very difficult to walk this line of there's so many games to talk about that if you have like this steady stream of always talking about any particular thing, people start to drown you out a little bit. People start to drown us out. Now everybody's back because you've been gone for a little while. It's the spontaneity of the directs that makes them so special, and the Nindies as well. Like, I don't know about you, but when I listen to podcasts, particularly the Xbox one on IGN, and they're like, here's the games that come out this week. I'm like, brain's dead. I don't even know what they're saying. Like, and I'm listening intently. I don't know what it is. So it's difficult to have this, like, now we're going to talk about the couple games that we think are really special this week. And I know a lot of shows try that. It's tough, man. I think
But I feel like the difference is, like, when you listen to when Colin and Greg did their thing, they would read all the games.
And they always made fun of, like, these write-ups don't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's different. But for me, if I'm Nintendo, I go, these are the top 3 games of the week. Because eventually, well, listen, they used to have in Nintendo Power a top 10 list. So you take and you go, this is our top 3 games of the week. These are the games you got to buy. And they're not Nintendo games. We're not going to make it about us. Because easily they could be like, oh, go buy Zelda Breath of the Wild this week. Or go buy... And then it becomes boring and nobody gives a damn about it. But if you're honest about it and you go, hey, man, South Park Stick of Truth came... Or not Stick of Truth. Fractured Behold came out this week. We're going to make this... We're going to talk about this game. The coolness of it, how it's a mature game. Sure. You do that. And then whatever else comes out, you talk about 3 games that you feel should rise above the rest. Because trust me, there is some garbage on that music thing. Come on, man.
What music thing?
$38 for that piece of shit.
No, Korg or something. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Bobby, okay, so we're talking right now. We were talking a lot about like how to push it out, how to like tweet and podcast and everything else. I say Nintendo pulls a Sony and just steal from Xbox and do Summer of Arcade. Do themed type of events over the course of like 1 month or 2 months, and every week is like, this is the game that you want to pay attention to. That's where like Castle Crashers came from. I'm pretty sure that's where like Limbo started. All these other games. That would be incredible. I mean, that sort of spills into our next topic a little bit.
Well, the other thing too, Sean, that I would do is this would be a big thing that I would do. I would, because of the reorganization of the eShop, I would have a section there called Editor's Pick or something like that.
Sure.
Or Editor's Picks.
Like your old
and then
bookstore.
I could go in there and go, these are the top games that are suggested to me. And you know what? I'd even go as far as like, these are Miyamoto's.
Dude, I was just gonna say, like, can you imagine? Nintendo would be the last company to ever do this.
Yeah.
But for like, this is Reggie's pick this week.
Yeah.
This is Bill Trinin's pick.
This is Bill Trinin's pick. Yeah. Like, dude, you would have people going out of their minds, and not only that, you would then have people going, man, I don't just want to be on the eShop. I want to be the best because I want them to pick my game.
You got a treehouse people there, like to do this. They could be the ones.
Yes.
Maybe you don't want like that people leading the company. These are the social.
Yeah. This is whoever is.
This is the Nintendo Guru's
pick all the time.
We need to do this.
Like, we should.
Why don't we just do this?
We'll do it. Forget Nintendo. We're taking the idea. Thank you. It's ours. We'll do it.
Copyright.
Go to NintendoGuru.com.
Oh snap! Scoop. No way, is that a thing?
It's owned.
What happens? What happens when you go to it?
Nothing right now, but it will. Trust me.
Anybody else doing exactly what I'm doing right now? Website coming soon. Oh, it does. That's neat. Look at that, Bobby.
You like that, right?
Oh, snap. Scoop.
So there you go.
Oh, dude.
So that's basically where we are there. And then the other thing we had was... Yeah, sales would be good. Well, we can move that.
Not even sales, like even just features. Yeah, sure. So you want to move into it?
Let's move this into the final topic because
go.
It's basically how we would fix the eShop. That's the final topic that we have for today, and I feel like that's it. Number one is I've said this before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. Sean gets upset when I sound like a broken record. Go back and listen. He yells at me for that.
You know what's funny too? Okay, hang on before we move on to that. Yeah. I was like, nobody even knows who like Imogen Forum is, and all of a sudden they put out SteamWorld Dig 2, and they're like this giant mecha monster. I was like, son of a bitch, man.
And then do you remember the other thing? If you go back, right? I called Mario Rabbids.
No.
Go back and watch it, and I'm like Ubisoft, because in that moment I'm going, they got some game coming out that's supposed to be a Rabbids game, Mario with Rabbids, like something like that themed. I'm hitting on it.
Yeah, but that was like Emily Rogers. Come on, Emily Rogers is coming out with that stuff.
Don't steal my thunder.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of like.
I had a moment, and you ruined it.
I know, but it's tough to go back in time and go like, I called this.
I'm still waiting for Mother 3.
True enough. Hey, true enough. I'll give you that.
Okay, so, but for me, I feel the best. I've talked about it before. I feel like the best storefront ever was the Wii U, and. So I'm not saying I would make it identical to the Wii U, but I would steal some things out of it.
Yeah.
And look at it. And anybody that doesn't believe me, go back, look at some of the stuff that the Wii U did. First off, the music. I thought the music was really.
No, we need the music from the Wii U channel.
Yeah, but
not
the
Wii U.
The Wii U. Yes, the Wii U. I'm talking about the Wii U would have themed music every month. And
themed music.
It would actually make me go like Christmas time, December. You'd have like Jingle Bell type Mario music and stuff, and it's like it made me actually go back because I wanted to hear what was playing, and then as I was sitting there, I'm buying stuff. So that's number one. I mean, that's not a huge thing, but like the other thing too is like my total that I had in my wallet was there at all times, and I could see how much money I had. I didn't have to go click to buy the game, and then it pops up and all that stuff. Like you said, sales. The sales are there, and the sales are okay. But I feel like you said, they should have themed sales. They should do a sale once a month and basically theme it on something. You know, if
Oh, I forgot I wanted Labo at the E3. Somebody mentioned Labo. Joe mentioned Labo. I want Labo at in the booth at E3. I want like a big cardboard booth.
Could you imagine if that's a character in Smash?
Yes. Oh, I was gonna say that too. We got
like the robot.
Just
like
yeah.
the robot.
Yes. Oh.
Have a kid in the game dressed.
But he's basically just a transformer. He can like cardboard transform into other things. He can turn into
a me character.
Sure.
It's a me character.
Oh, that is such a good idea. I want to hit somebody with a fishing rod.
Yeah, you're just pulling stuff out, and you throw the fishing rod, you reel them back in.
Yeah. You can set up like those little the things that crawl, like when you use the vibrations, they crawl around.
And you see the kid go over there and he's like going across and they're tripping on him and stuff. Be pretty cool.
Oh my god! Okay, what were we talking about? For the people who are in the chat, they can hear the eShop music, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So we themed this up. I think you guys can hear it. Hopefully you can.
So for me, that's what I feel. I think there's a few things that should be fixed. Like I said, you should have your dollar amount there at all times so you can see sections broken off, indie games. I would even have shovelware games do that.
That's hilarious.
There should be, because there's a lot of shovelware. That's what I feel like is starting to happen. I feel like we're moving into Wii territory, where there's so much crap hitting the shelves. Luckily, we are getting some good games as well. They kind of hold it, but there's a lot of trash that's on that thing.
Before we keep slamming on how trashy it is, let's take a moment and just appreciate the fact that they got up the shop and it worked and it was super basic and it was able to handle like this giant influx of games. Imagine if they started with a shop like the Wii U shop, where it's all like very the cater, and even the 3DS shop. Try jamming everything into that, very structured and rigid. Like they would have nothing would sell.
At
first
least
of
now
all,
they can see what they have and some adjustments on the fly now, which I like that. I do like that.
I want recommended. Is it recommended for you right now?
Yes, I want that back.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. So based on the games that you play. Yeah. Here's the thing I want from all shops, and I would actually put on Nintendo. And speaking of indies, so whenever you have a Nindies Direct, or you always have like these montages of a whole bunch of games, you're smashing it. There's like 30 games, and you get like a quick second. Nobody's writing these things down, but you want to go like, okay, so I've stopped watching E3 or whatever the Direct was. What were those games? I want a collection of like those games that were on last week's Direct or something. Like have the news sort of like flow into a way for you to like buy it and even like bundle it to go, I'll take all 10. Give me 10% off or something like that, and you get the whole dang collection. Almost like a little Humble Bundle in a way.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool if they did their own Humble Bundle type thing, where you took some older games and packaged them together and go, hey, you pay $20, you get all these games.
Yes.
Like that would be kind of cool, man.
That would be incredible.
That would be kind of cool.
I think
like just basically steal that concept, and I'm surprised nobody has, honestly. I'm surprised Sony hasn't.
I know.
Like they partner up with them occasionally and do stuff, but just do their own type of thing. That would be kind of cool.
I want a starter pack too. They're going to sell 20 million Nintendo Switches in the next year or something like that. I want you to go onto the eShop and go like, these are the games that you should play. Like everybody always asks the same question. Like I just got my Switch, like aside from Zelda and Mario, like what should I get? And you get like this, you get like 5 starter kits. And they're kind of like themed, or like here's a platformer starter kit or something, or maybe a mishmash of stuff. I think that like curation is the key. And I think that's kind of what we were talking about with, you want like editor's choice kind of stuff. I want that represented in the eShop.
Yeah, I think that would be a good.
I want a wish list, by the way.
There is a wish list, but there's no way to go look at your wish list.
Yeah, this is the dumbest thing.
Like I don't understand the point of me clicking wish list. And here's something else would be kind of cool. Seriously, you click your wish list, and then your parents could jump on, or family members, because they could have your own website, right? You could have your own little website,
little registry,
and then next thing you know, Christmas time comes and you just say, hey, go look at my wish list, and then boom, it launches Christmas. They can actually
I was just thinking that
unlocks it when they want it. So then Christmas morning you wake up, here's 15 games that unlock.
Well, remember on the 3DS they would sort of like automatically download these demos for you, and they would show up as a present, and you'd unlock you'd open the present, and that would be so cool. You have a little card in there.
Take it a step further, because I know what people are going to say. Well, what if I go buy it on my own? If you put it on your wish list, it blocks it out, and you can never buy it until after the set.
Wait, hang on a second. So if somebody buys it for you, but you're not allowed to open it yet, and you try and buy it in the meantime,
yes. So what happens?
That would happen to me and Chelsea all the time.
We're going to use Odyssey. So Mario Odyssey comes up, and I go, I want to add this to my wish list.
Yep.
When are you expecting it? My birthday is this date, or Christmas is this date. It will not. I am not able to buy it unless I can take it off my wish list. I am not allowed to buy it until that date. And then I would even make it so you can't take it off the wish list, because then people will be trying to pull stuff off the wish list and seeing if it's.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, what if you have like what if you wish list every game?
I would make it just so it's fun. Somehow to make it fun, so that way you're getting it and it's a surprise and you don't know you got it. It'd be kind of cool.
I mean, probably the easiest way to do it is
for me. Well, I know with me when I had a wife, we would sit there and she would go like, "You're not allowed to buy nothing from this date to this."
That's
date.
what, yeah.
And my mom did the same thing. Like, you can't buy anything this related, like video game, because I would finally get to the point where I was like, I'm buying games. You can buy anything else you want to buy from. And then that's the way it would go. So you do that type of stuff, and it was kind of.
I think if somebody, so if I buy you a present, and I'm like, I want this to like drop in Bobby's Switch on his birthday, but you buy it beforehand, I think I should get a notice from Nintendo, so you actually can just buy it. You don't even know, there's nothing blocked or anything like that, but the notice goes back to me and says, Bobby bought himself this game. Would you like to buy something else? Yeah. Like sort of like prompt for then you actually, as a Nintendo, you get a second sale. Because you never actually like stop the first one from happening, and then like I wouldn't
give you the money back. I would say go buy something else.
Right? Yeah.
Go buy something else. Yeah. You gave me the money. Screw you. It is what it is. So that'd be kind of cool. Because on the Wii, excuse me, on the Wii you could gift games.
Yeah.
I remember on the Wii buying my nephew Mike Tyson's Punch Out, because I loved the game so much. I sent it to his Wii and was like, "You got to play this game." And my brother was texting me like, "Dude, this is the greatest thing ever, man. How did you do this?" And I'm like, "I just sent him the gift. I want him to have it." So it's like, it's definitely got to happen.
Anything else that's missing from anybody in the chat too? Sorry if I've missed anything here. Is it anything else that's missing from the? We all know that it's bare. We know. Okay, so like a couple tweaks I think that even you've talked about, like the number of games in new and featured or best selling. What's the number? What do we go to?
I would do, for best selling, I would do a top 100 list.
Yep.
I would do a top 100 list. And I would, like, when you go to iTunes and you have the chart and it lists the top 100 songs or movies or whatever, do that. Same thing. And then you do you have a top 100. They have like 400 games now, man. 400 or 500 games on the system now, which blows my mind. When you look at the Wii U and it had nothing, and this thing has 500 games. It's mind-blowing.
Patty Wagon says they need a kids section.
I agree. I mean, most games are kids games anyway, but yes, they should have a designated area that are kids. Kirby could be in there, you know.
That's it.
With a fire underneath it, on fire.
Kirby and Yoshi go hang out over there.
Yeah. Well, Yoshi's getting a little hardcore. I mean, he's there's nobody is hardcore.
Just wait for Yoshi to show up with like
suck and swallow.
He shows up with like a bandana and tattoos, and he's just like, "This is grown up." It's like when Undertaker came back. Like he's a biker. Yeah.
So I think it's about to happen, Sean. That is all. Thank you guys for checking out over here on We the Nerdy's YouTube channel. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. I personally thank you all for coming out today, and all that stuff. It means the world to me, the support and all that. Follow myself on Twitter, Instagram, at Nintendo Gurus. Follow Mr. Capri over here, Sean Like Connery, Capri Like the Pants, over on Instagram and on Twitter. He won't ever plug that. I will.
My profile picture is still a Christmas thing. I got to at least take a picture.
And all of you over on the lovely Patreon, thank you for supporting that. That is really awesome. And showing how awesome you guys are, that when I did leave, you guys stayed. I'm not getting any money. I'm just being thankful to you guys because you guys support these guys. So thank you.
Yeah, we cut Bobby off as soon as freaking possible. Bobby's like, I'm out, and I'm like,
peace out.
Wait a minute, you can wait. You can say that one more time. Big announcements, by the way, coming to this show very soon. Stay tuned.
Okay.
And the other guys from the Patreon don't even know this yet, Bobby. You guys just have to. I can't tell you yet. You just have to trust me. You just have to trust me. New challenger approaching.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's all I'm saying.
This is not good.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't like this. This. Okay. Anyway, that is all. Peace out, Preston.
Here's a video by Bobby.
What's up, everybody? Bobby here. See, that's where there's going to be a little confusion here, because normally I go into spiel about being geek guru, geek definitely guru, I don't know. But today's a little different. Today is, I'm moving into a different foray. I feel like I do a lot of Nintendo stuff, and I love Nintendo with all my heart. But a part of the problem is that recently I've been trying to do some video game reviews and things of that nature and talk about video games and show video game footage. But because of rules within YouTube with Nintendo, I'm not able to do that anymore. And I wanted to be able to continue to do that. So I felt like the best option for me to do was, at this point, create a second YouTube channel. Sign up for Nintendo's creator program and try to go that route to enable myself to do better videos for not just you, but for me, that I'll be happier with. Because I feel like I want to do things that I'm not able to do. And I feel like I'm being handcuffed on the Geek Guru channel. So I felt like this was the best option for me to move into that other realm. So at first, you're not really going to notice much of a change. A lot of the stuff that shows up on my Geek Guru channel will also show up here. But things like the Geekcast and things of that nature will stay on the Geek Guru page. Things like the Ink Strike podcast will move here because it's a Nintendo-centric thing that's strictly Nintendo, and it'll come here. And it'll also give me the ability to maybe add gameplay footage over top of the podcast, so you guys can watch that as well as listen to us talk about Splatoon. Things like Wednesday, at first, are gonna be on both, but then eventually we'll move over to the Nintendo Guru page. Things like the Amiibo Showcase will start on both and then eventually move over. I think the idea is, as you're starting to sense, is in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of blurring of the lines, but then eventually we'll start to shift all the Nintendo-centric content over to one different channel, a more Nintendo-themed channel. I feel like this will open me up because, as you guys have seen where I shoot my videos, it doesn't matter if I'm talking about Batman vs. Superman or movies, other movies, or comic books, or television. I'm shooting from here in this room, and this room is a love for Nintendo room. This channel will have its own separate Twitter account, own separate Instagram, everything as we move forward. Right now I already have the Twitter account set up. You can follow me at Nintendo Gurus on Twitter. Hopefully I'll get the same thing for Instagram, and that'll be up and all that going very shortly. I'll have a Facebook page dedicated strictly to Nintendo Gurus. Hopefully you guys enjoy this content that's going to continue to come forward, and I can do things in a more carefree manner and not worry about getting strikes against my account or getting videos taken down or anything like that. That's my biggest fear. I work hard doing this. I work a full-time job on top of this. So when I take the time to do a video, I don't want to have the fear of, hey, that might get taken down or you might lose your YouTube channel because of that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. It'll be totally different moving forward. I gotta find a new catchphrase, obviously, and a new outro, because the Peace Mother, I'm done with that. I'm not gonna do that over here anymore. So hopefully you guys like this. Follow me on Twitter, Nintendo Gurus, please. And subscribe to this channel, because moving forward, this is gonna be the home of me, Bobby, and all my Nintendo love. So thank you very much, and share this.